Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Hena aka Bookish Babe, and I am back with another video. So yeah, I'm back with another video. Today I'm actually here with a book review, so I'm really excited because I know that you guys love book reviews, and this is a book that was highly anticipated. So I am really excited to share this one with you guys today. Grab your beverage of choice. I'm currently drinking some fruity white wine. It is Friday outside, in or bad outside now. It's quite warm, you know what I mean? It's quite warm. So yeah guys, grab your beverage of choice and let's get straight into the video. If you are new here, then please press that subscribe button and like that video. Thumbs it up, show me some cute little love. And yeah, follow me on my social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Goodreads. I will put my socials here and you guys can connect with me. But yeah, back with another Black History Month fun time video. So guys, the book I'm here to speak about today is one that was highly anticipated for me. One that I've been seeing floating around for the longest of times. One that I actually knew about when the editor told me about it. Nearly I think it was like a year ago. This was pre-corona. I think this was a year ago where I saw the editor because we work at the same place, and she literally told me about this idea that she had for this book and how her and, you know, a certain somebody was going to make it happen. And I was like, wow, that sounds fantastic. So it's great to see this a year on, or a year plus some change on, and it's like a full-on book. Anyways, guys, that book is Loving Colour by Bolu Babalola. Now let me tell you something, about Bolu. Let me tell you something about Bolu. Hi Bolu. Hey baby, Bolu babe, Bolu babe. Let me tell you something about Bolu. Sis came through and said, you know what? I'm just gonna give y'all a taster of what I can do. A small little of what I can do. Just a very small little taste of the madness that is to come during my writing career. Before I even get into it, let me tell you something, Whilst this was highly anticipated for me, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect. I never thought, Bonnie was a horrible writer and I just didn't know what to expect. I never read Netflix and Chill, which was a short story that she wrote and won an award for. So I was very much so like going off faith, like, yeah, it's gonna bang, and the concept is fantastic. So I was just, when I opened the book and I started reading, and this is when I was reading the introduction, which was like a page and a bit long, or 2 pages and a bit long. And I was just there like, oh, so Bolu can write. But not only can Bolu write, Bolu can write right. And when you can write right, that means that you're beyond one book. You're not a one-hit wonder. That means that it's about to get sticky for a lot of people in this place, especially when it comes to the rom-com / romance genre. It's about to get very sticky for a lot of these white authors who are becoming complacent, producing the same sort of narrative every year and getting a big bonus check. And that is why I am here to say that whilst I'm not a big fan of romance, maybe it's because I'm bare and single, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of romance, but Bolu made me fall in love. Bolu made me look at my love life and say, I've never had that. Bolu made me feel lonely in bed. Like, literally, I was reading it in bed like, how come no man has ever taken off their shirt at the workplace and given it to me? Not that I want anyone for work anyways, but still, the gesture. It's the gesture that counts. No man has started dancing in the middle of the village on my behalf to win my love. No man has never loved me for me. You know what I mean? I've never fallen in love with any of my Uber drivers. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? I've never had anyone want to protect me and die for me. Do you get me? I've not had it. And Bolu made me really deep my life and say, I'm shouting, I don't know I'm shouting, but Bolu made me deep my life and think, I deserve more. I deserve better. I deserve richer. I deserve bigger. Heavy on the bigger. Sis came through and said, babes, I'm representing y'all in the love field. In the love section, you guys are going to be happy. You're going to have men dying for you. You're going to be powerful women that men want to love on. Powerful black women, especially, as well as other women of color. And I was just there like, you guys are just... She really shook me. She really shook me. Anyways, so yeah, guys, the book I'm here to talk to you guys today about is Love in Color by Bolu, Babalola. Now, this is romance. It is a collection of short stories featuring women of color, but especially black women. I say especially black women because sis is black, so I could fully relate to the black women in the book being loved on. Actually, no, I couldn't relate to the black women in the book being loved on, but I could fully want to be one of the babes in the book being loved on. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't play when it comes to books. I don't play. So I previously mentioned that I am not big on the romance genre. But let me tell you why I'll be reading Bolu's future work. And I hope that it's in romance. You know what I mean? I hope that she keeps to romance and she just makes her queen. She makes her queen because do you know how much these white authors get paid? Don't let me start spitting out figures. Work will be on my case if I start spitting out figures. Let me tell you why. You guys should know the reason why I started this channel by now is to basically encourage more people to read. But when I say people, whilst I am very much so inclusive, I am speaking mainly to people of ethnic minority, but especially black people. So I've long had a bone to pick with the publishing industry when it came to the lack of representation, when it comes to people of ethnic minority, but in particular, black people. And I say in particular black people because I definitely believe that when it comes to the lack of diversity and inclusivity within the publishing industry currently, it is a direct byproduct of colonial rulers and slave traders being anti-literacy when it came to enslaving and colonizing and dominating black people. So I've often felt a bit slighted because I definitely feel like black writers in particular are a world behind, because for a very long time, they weren't able to read. We weren't allowed to write. And what annoys me is that whilst we were denied that creative access and that luxury and that necessity, like, bloods, I can't imagine not being able to read and write. I cannot. So whilst we were denied that, white authors often used us and used our countries and used our homelands for the backdrop of their stories and used us as characters in their stories. So I am here for black authors in the 21st century redefining genres, because for a very, very long time, and I want to say very, very long time, I've just started noticing publishing houses doing a bit of this and doing a bit of that when it comes to diversity and inclusivity and making sure that black authors are able to write beyond slave narratives and struggle narratives and trauma narratives. So for Bolu to come in and say, hold up, wait a minute. Wait a minute, I'm about to redefine romance and put us right in there. I have to commend you, Bolu. I have to commend you. I would say this is what writing is all about for black authors in this day and age. And I just pray that in the future, when we are a bit more advanced, when we've written and we've moved away from the slave narratives and the trauma narratives and everything like that, that black authors and other authors of color can really just write freely. But I commend Bolu because Bolu came in and said, I could write a romance set in whatever day, I could write a romance, but I want to redefine, reposition, rebrand, and include people of color, especially black individuals, in mythical tales that are about love. I am big on that. And that is why I absolutely love this book. Because when I was reading it, it wasn't too far removed from reality that I thought this could never happen to me. It wasn't. Because I read some of the stories and I was just like, shit, Had someone loved me this much, we could have been getting it on in the office. I'm joking, we couldn't, not in my office. People at work, that was a joke. It was a joke. So yeah, it wasn't too far removed from reality that I thought that it couldn't happen to me, but it was the right coupling of not too far removed from reality and fiction, fantasy, rom-com, imagination, and everything like that, that just made me feel like, damn, this is a story and I'm reading this and I don't feel traumatized reading this. I don't feel like, oh shit, as a black woman, I'm slighted and, we don't believe, we don't receive love and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I didn't feel like that. I very much so felt like this could happen to me. I could meet a man as powerful as I am, as successful as I am, as weird as I am, as all the things that I may not like about myself as I am. I can still meet a man and he'll love me for who I am. So let me tell you a bit about Love in Colour. So the book is made up of 13 short stories. 10 are based on old mythical tales, and 3, I believe, are sprung from Bolu's imagination. So one thing I noticed is that I did say that I didn't know what I was getting myself into when it came to reading Bolu's work, because I didn't. And I was pleasantly surprised because she's extremely descriptive. And one thing that I like about her writing style, and one thing that's telling of her career thus far, is that she works in TV. Because sis can describe and make you feel like you're in the cinema. Literally, her writing is so cinematic. Her writing is extremely flirtatious. Her writing is extremely inviting. And that's one thing I absolutely loved about it. It's weird how someone, you can actually feel someone's energy between the lines of their work and on the pages. I could really feel her energy. And one thing that I absolutely loved about Bolu is that the way she described love, it wasn't cringy. It was very much so must be nice. Must be nice. Bolu, baby. Bolu. Now, sorry, my cover's coming off. I don't even know where to start. First of all, the cover. Can we get some praise for the cover, please? I'm not sure who on whatever design team designed this cover, but it's absolutely stunning. This cover, and it's a dust jacket as well. It's great. It is great. But yeah, I absolutely enjoyed this book, and I really liked how international it was. A lot of the stories weren't set in the Western world. Some of them were set in Ghana, some were set in Nigeria. And I absolutely love that because it makes it more inviting. It makes it more inclusive. It makes it more real, and it makes it really relatable. I would definitely say that Bolu is a personable writer simply because you're reading and you're just like, shit, this babe is cool. This babe knows about love. So yeah, one thing I absolutely loved about Bolu is that she wrote about women who had position, who had power, who were intelligent, who were ambitious. And that's something that I absolutely love. Because often when it comes to Black women, we're always seen as these strong individuals who are meant to be able to do everything under the sun, but who are not meant to be loved on. And we're meant to be okay with not being loved on. So reading this work made me feel like, shit, I can reach for the stars. I do not have to dull myself down. I do not have to dumb myself down. I do not have to dim my own light to make another man's light shine bright. I don't have to do that, and I can still find love. I can still find that sort of love where it's intoxicating, and not toxic, intoxicating, and it's consuming, and someone loves me and sees me beyond all my achievements, but also understands that I am great, and those achievements add to my greatness. And I love the story Attem because Attem is Attem is a bad bitch. Attem said, me, I'll marry the king. I'll get my family out of poverty. But let me tell you something. I'm going to be fucking everyone else. So let me explain the story properly. So this story is about a girl who was born into like a tradesman, craftsmanship family. So she wasn't of low birth, but she wasn't the richest. Her family ended up getting into some debt with the king, and because of all of that, all their land was taken from them, and they had two options: is either they fled or they were enslaved. Now, obviously, they didn't run, so the slave thing was seeming like a big deal. So what happened is that, I'm gonna try and be brave. Attem, one day when the king was within her proximity and it was like a festival, like a party, sis showed out. Sis was there like,
Nah, put no gal above you. You alone, me see TikTok for your torso. In a hipster.
Sis was there bumping, grinding, hip to the side, hip to the side. Sis was doing what sis had to do to make sure that sis got that check. So yeah, so she caught the attention of the king. She got married to the king. The king wiped all her family's debt, gave them back their land, and she basically was, I believe she was the seventh wife of that king, but she was one of the youngest. She was probably the most beautiful wife, and she was very defiant because while she got married to him, she got married with intention. She wasn't there trying to find love, and that's what I was fucking with. She got married. She was like, cool, I'm gonna get married to this man. I'm gonna make sure that I help people through my marriage because he's a dictator. He's not a good king. And in doing that, like, I'm just going to do the good that I can do. And even if I'm not happy because I don't feel loved and I have to have sex with an old man who repulses me, at least I feel like I'm giving something back to the community. The story starts off from Ituan's perspective. And obviously he also has this sort of Robin Hood complex going on where he's a thief, he's standing in the market and he steals from the rich, gives to the poor, and he lives a minimalist lifestyle. And whilst he's at this market, he notices the queen, who is Attem, and obviously Attem notices him too, and she outright says to her right-hand woman that guy is fire. He's about it. I want some of that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they end up, so one thing that I found really cool is that a lot of the women that were within her circle were women that she saved from rape, that murder, were basically women that she could trust. So her right-hand woman, her name was Afia, and Afia was with the shits. Afia used to see Attem man and be like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, so she meets this guy and she ends up recruiting him to have a night with her. And while she slept with, I believe, dozens of men, she's only ever spent one night with those men. But with this guy, it was different and they found love. And it was beautiful because it was just one of those things where it's like, you know, when you're messing with a guy, and obviously you're not in a relationship, I ain't cheater, but you're messing with a guy and you're just a bit like, I shouldn't, but let's do it. You know, that one's there like, we shouldn't be doing this. You know, we should stop. We shouldn't see each other. We're bad for one another. It's not going to work. All that shit that you want to be fusing into your situationship. It was a bit of that. But there was a lot of affection between them and they loved one another and they found one another in each other, and I found that beautiful. And I'm gonna say this is that Bolu, the way Bolu speaks about love is that she doesn't make it seem like it's an experience of like two individual people. She makes it seem like it's one experience, like it's just something that flows into one another, and when you find love, it's just you're one. And I found that beautiful. But yeah, within this story, Attem, obviously they get found out. And we're led to believe that Attem is going to die because obviously the king's guards are marching up to her cave where, you know, she does her business. She begs Ituan, I believe that's how you pronounce the name, she begs Ituan to run away and not come back, and if she survives this, then she will come and she will find him. He runs off and he doesn't look back, regretfully, and he waits and waits and waits for Attem to find him, and months go by and she doesn't find him. And during that time, he becomes a craftsman and he starts making small little leopards. He starts making small little leopards out of wood and other material. and he becomes like quite a well-known craftsman, and he becomes known for his craftsmanship. And I believe it was like 36 months later, Attem turns up, and obviously during that time he's grown a big beard. He's forced himself to forget about Attem, because he's just thinking like, that was my greatest love, and I had to run away because she was a queen and I wasn't meant to be sleeping with the king's wife. And had I stayed, we would have both died, and she's probably dead now. And then months later, she turns up, and you know, these children who live in the village that Itiwan is now working in come, and they're saying, you know, someone's here to see you. She's asked for you by name. And then he runs off, and there's Attem. But what did Attem come with? Attem came with a baby. She had a child. He was like 2. From what, if I calculate right, he was like 2 or 3. And it was just one of those things where it's like, I want a love child. Why can't I get pregnant and have a love child for someone who loves me and thinks that who thinks I'm God's greatest gift, and who, despite leaving, pines after me, doesn't look anywhere else, is sad and miserable without me? Why can't I have that? But yeah, that was my favorite story. I absolutely loved that. I thought that story for me was just a bit of me. The story that follows that is a story called Yeah. And this story was set in Ghana, I believe. And this one was about a girl who was born into a well-off family, so she was wealthy. And she was basically like betrothed from a young age to another family's son who was also well off. And it was about her finding love outside of wealth and capitalism and elitism, and finding love, and it just being the purest thing. Like, I'm not going to give too much away, but I'm just letting you know that Kofi's a bastard. But yeah, guys, I don't want to tell you everything that happens in these stories, because I feel like it would be very, very unfair of me. One thing that I really liked about the way this book was printed is that because these are based on mythical tales, Bolu includes the sources of inspiration. So even if you're unfamiliar with any of these mythical tales, you can go and read up on the real ones, the source ones, and I found that fantastic. To be fair, I can't pronounce that. Is it Scheherazade? Scheherazade? I think it's Scheherazade. Scheherazade. It's Scheherazade. Scheherazade. That was a bit of me. To be fair, I was in a book club the other day, and someone said that it reminded them of Scandal, Olivia and Fitz, and I didn't feel that whatsoever. I said, not Scandal, Olivia and Fitz, not dirty ass Fitz, not Fitzgerald. No way. So yeah, guys, I absolutely loved this. And for me, when I say I love this, you guys should believe me, because I do not like romance at all. I don't. And I'm not going to lie and say that I do. I don't like romance at all. I feel like it's cheesy. I've never really connected with it on a level. The only romance that I've ever liked, and it wasn't even romance because it was all toxic, was Normal People. And that wasn't really romance. That was like, I believe that was contemporary fiction with it was like a romantic theme throughout, but it wasn't healthy, mythical, boy meets girl, girl meets boy, they fall in love romance. That was a different sort of thing. And I would definitely be picking up Bolu's second book when she writes it, if she writes one. And I hope that it's a novel, and I hope that she continues the great work that she does. She's a fantastic author, she's a fantastic writer. And I definitely urge everyone to go out and read this book. Bolu baby. You did that. And this is definitely a book that, when it comes to my daughters or my sons coming to that age where they start recognizing or acknowledging the other gender or the same gender, whoever they choose to love, I'm really just going to be like, here you go. Love in color, baby. Get you some. whilst Bolu made me realise that I'm single, I don't have a man that love me, and whatever's whatever, she also made me very much so excited to one day meet someone and fall head over heels and be in love with them. So I appreciate this book, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this collection of short stories. What was your favourite story? What was your least favourite story? If you have a least favourite story, and just what was your overall vibe? Obviously, I've spoken about it from a post-colonial perspective, on a personal perspective, and everything like that. But I definitely want to know what you guys think. So yeah, guys, that is it for my book review on Living Colour by Babalola. And I absolutely hope that you loved it and that you guys go out and actually read this book. I'm going to include a link to where you can buy the book on Amazon, Waterstones, and all the other sites that you can go and get the book, or you can just go into a bookstore and buy the book there. It is selling like hotcakes. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. And yeah, this is my second video. This is my other video in my Black History Month series. And yeah, so I will catch you guys in the next one. You know it's all love. I'm feeling very much so upbeat today, and I hope that sort of translates in my video. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Goodreads, and I will be back soon with another video. Bye now.